Real Business with Latoya Chantel. And today I'm joined by Miss Maria Dotson, the owner of Mz Vee Accessories More. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
That's good. Just to kind of get into it, are you originally from Jackson?
Nope, I'm from New York City. Boogie Down Bronx. Boricua from the Bronx. Sorry.
How did you end up in Jackson?
Oh, 2001, I moved here. I was married before. My ex-husband's parents had decided to move from Chicago to down here, and he was close to his parents, so we made the move. Actually ended up making the move before them.
Okay.
So we were here a year before they moved down, and that's how we ended up in Jackson, Tennessee.
Did it take you long to adjust to the culture?
It took me 6 months to figure out what people were saying. I used to be like, spit it. Total transparency. So when I was 15, I have a twin sister. Mom and dad moved us from New York to Minnesota. So when I was 16, 1986, we moved to Minnesota, St. Paul, Minneapolis. So it was New York 15 years, Minnesota 15 years, and then down here. So I had a transition period.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's a
That's
big
still a lot.
change.
It's a big
That's a big change.
But Minnesota prepared me for the slow down atmosphere of Jackson. If I had gone from New York to Jackson.
Well, we're glad that you landed in Jackson.
Thank you.
And so, as far as Mz Vee's Accessories and More, how did you come up with that concept? What does it involve?
So, I'm at year 7, 2016. My oldest daughter, she was in South Dakota selling boutique style jewelry, so she started a business. She's buying them wholesale and reselling them. And then my son, he started several businesses, Sunrise Comic Books, and he has a graphic novel called Bounty Hunter Beauty, which is a great graphic novel. My son is into nerdcore. I don't know if you've heard of it. Nerdcore is his music is nerdcore, so it's like rap with nerd references, anime, Star Wars, Star Trek, comic books, all that. So he started a business, and I never thought of starting my own business. So I had went to the flea market, and the Asian lady, she sells all those big wood earrings, and she has some Afrocentric earrings, and I liked them, so I bought some for myself. And people started asking where I got it from, so I told them. And then somebody had posted on my timeline, I wish somebody in Jackson would sell these types of earrings every week. We don't have to wait for the Asian lady to come sell them the first weekend of the month. So I talked to my kids, and they taught me how to find wholesalers online. So I started off with just the big wood African earrings, you know, the African lady with looks like she has a head wrap. That's how I started with that. And then as my customer base grew, do you have any dashikis? Do you have head wraps? Do you have any other types of jewelry? And then I started doing pop-ups. My very first pop-up was in Bolivar. Shout out to Sabrina McTizick and her cousin Nikki. And after that, I started doing pop-ups almost every weekend. I got to where I was doing pop-ups every weekend, and that's how I started.
So you found your niche.
I found my niche and started doing boutique style clothing sometimes, and I would buy other people's inventory when they were going out of business, and so that's how I started that. And Mom got sick last year, really sick last year, so I kind of scaled back a whole lot. So my following noticed I stopped doing vendor events, but I still, you got these earrings, you got any African skirts? They would still contact me. I would meet them, and then my husband and I decided to go ahead and get a brick and mortar. And so we were gonna do boutique, but I figured a boutique I'm gonna have to man all the time, and I didn't want to do that.
Right.
So I have my boutique set up in there, but it's a little messy, so we're not gonna go in there right now. And we have evolved into something called the Creators Experience Center by Mz Vee.
Which is where we are today. So, and later I'll give y'all a little tour. So what actually inspires your jewelry making?
With the jewelry making part, it's going to be, I'll ask my customers, what's the event? What colors are they looking for? Do they have any hobbies? Do they have any interests? Is there a special color combination they're looking for? Is there a special outfit they want to match with? That's what inspires the custom jewelry I make for my customers. The ones I make for myself or that I make myself and end up selling later, I'll look on Etsy, I'll look on, I'll Google trending jewelry or trending fabrics, things like that. But most of my jewelry is either made with wood beads, African fabric, denim, things that I already have at home. And I like them to be statement pieces. I want them to stand out. And I like that they're unique. I never, ever, ever make any pair of earrings exactly the same.
Okay, so that's true customization.
True
people.
customization.
So make sure that you all contact her so you can get your one of a kind, unique piece.
Yes.
So, what has been the biggest challenge for you as a business owner?
Lately, getting the people to come to my experience center, wanting to come, and I know that one of the challenge is that it is in East Jackson. East Jackson has a stigmatism, but I can say, well, I was former law enforcement. I was a jailer, and I can honestly say that there's just as much crime in other areas of Jackson as there is here.
It's
everywhere. But there's a stigmatism, and I will say East Jackson is one of the safest areas to come to, especially owning a business. As long as I've been here and I have seen other businesses in here, they have not had any issues with any riffraff. So the biggest challenge is getting people, they like my comment, they like my posts, they like my events, but for some reason they're not showing up. I did an event not too long ago. 50 people RSVP'd, 13 showed for a free event, and that was discouraging to me. Not at first, because at first I was in the moment. I was loving it because who was here was supposed to be here, and watching them in their vibe and getting that one feeling of peace and utopia while they were creating their bracelets or their earrings or their painting. That was the moment that I wanted them to feel.
Right.
And I just want to share that with so many people. So when I create jewelry on my own at home, it's therapy for me. I love it. I want people to experience that.
Right.
So my biggest challenge is getting people to come out, but it's new. We're a month in, so I know people have prom. They got graduation coming up. They got all they're planning family reunions. I know that's, but I just want people to say, you know what? Let's go out there and see what Mz Vee's got going on, and have a nice time.
Exactly.
It's safe. It's comfortable. It's serene. It's intimate. There's a word I'm looking for. I can't describe it just yet. When I find it, I'll let you know.
Okay. And that's kind of the reason why I wanted to get this started as well, because there's so much negativity out there. And I was like, people need to see there's a whole other side to our side of town. It's not all bad. It's not all crime, because I know once you go on social media, that's all you see. It's all the news wants you to see. So I wanted to do something different and say, we have all these entrepreneurs on our side of town that nobody's tapping into, either because they don't know that they're there, or they're not getting the exposure that they really need.
The people that come out to support the entrepreneurs here, the ones that know them and come out to support, we're trying to get other people to come in.
Outside them.
Yes. Like, you got Trap House next door, and the food is fire. And he's got his regulars. They come every day. And then you've got Mr. Martin just started a barbershop, beauty shop over here next door. He owns it and he's just renting out chairs. So slowly but surely the people are coming because the barbers that were there for years have moved somewhere else. And then you've got the tattoo parlor. He's trying to build up his clientele. He's got a large following. The people that know him come, but the people that don't want to venture into East Jackson.
Right. And I love this area. Like, I don't see an issue with it. I live not too far from here, and I mean, like I said, you can't escape any type of crime anywhere, but we do need everybody to start joining together, come out and support any entrepreneur really, but the ones from this part of town, y'all really need to support, because without y'all, it's hard. It's really hard. So
there was a study that came out a few years ago. My husband showed it to me. It's actually been mentioned on several YouTube podcasts, where by the year 2040, there's not going to be any Black or minority millionaires. We need to change that narrative. And the only way we're going to change that narrative is if we support each other.
Right. And I'm only one person. This is all I knew what to do to get it started. So if everybody in the community can come together, then I absolutely know we can do it. We can. So
I agree.
we just have to be around the same like-minded people. So
Exactly.
as far as coming to a small town like Jackson, so to me, I feel like if it's not based on popularity, people follow the trends, it makes it a little harder running a business. I'm not sure if you feel the same.
So I have noticed that if you're not in a particular clique or a particular group, that people don't support you. I have noticed that when I first started vendor events in the smaller cities like Selmer, Chester County, and Henderson, if people didn't know me, they didn't come to my booth and shop. So as far as businesses in Jackson, I do find that if they don't know you, they don't support you. But when people start to patronize you and people start to see the crowd coming, because we talked about, my husband and I talked about the other day, we're listening actually to an interview that people go where the crowd is. So it's not until people start to see where the crowds are going, that's when they'll go ahead and start to patronize your business. Word of mouth is really, really good in Jackson, especially when you have influencers. There's one particular young lady, I'm not going to shout her out because she doesn't like to be out in the public eye, but when she started to really support my business, her people started to support my business. So, and then after that, I did make some lifelong customers, and others they go elsewhere, which is fine. But I do find that people do tend to be cliquish, and they patronize who they want, and then when the trend is over, they disappear.
And I also feel like personality is a big part of it, because people can have a business, but your personality can suck.
What you said.
So that has a lot to do with it as well. So do you feel like when people have a certain type of personality that they can be their own downfall?
I agree 100%. You can have the best product in the world, but if your attitude sucks, nobody's going to shop with you.
Right.
If you don't have that customer service skills, you don't know how to evolve and accommodate different types of customers, they're not going to shop with you.
Right. Because if I feel like I'm bothering you, that's okay.
I agree.
That's okay. I'll keep my money and you can go your way.
You're right.
So.
There's multi-billion-dollar companies that to this day I will not shop in their store. They're not missing my little coins, but I don't care.
And people tend to they'll spend the money with the big names. So what makes you different from everyone else that you feel like people should come to you? What's different about Mz Vee? What makes you unique?
What makes me unique? Oh goodness. I'm passionate about my jewelry making. I'm passionate about doing pop-up shops and showing new entrepreneurs how to get into the pop-up shop genre, how to get into the pop-up shop community. I'm passionate about that and teaching other people how to take your hobby and turn it into a business if you can. Because we're at an age now we don't need a side hustle.
Right. Yeah.
I have a nice personality. I have a beautiful smile.
You do. You do. You have the most, I don't know, it's just something about, you make people comfortable.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
And that's a good thing, because if I don't feel comfortable around you, then I can't do it.
I don't blame you. What else makes me unique? I take my time, and when I make jewelry, I take my time. I'm intentional when I make my jewelry. I'm intentional when I think about the events I want to put together. I'm intentional about even now the pop-up shops that I do, because I would do anything. If it was a pop-up shop, I was there. But experience has taught me some lessons, and there's just certain places I can't make any money, and I'm not going to bother going there. Right. Like, for example, last year I took a leap of faith and I did the Juneteenth in Memphis, and it was extremely profitable. It was a high vendor fee, but it was worth my while. So I have decided that from here on out, when I do pop-ups, it's going to be the ones that I know are going to be worth my while, and I will have a great experience. And if there's anybody else I can learn from, then I'll learn from them. If there's anybody else that can learn from me, then I will definitely teach them.
Okay. So do you see yourselves giving courses to other people at some point, or?
I do see myself giving courses at some point, how to start a pop-up shop, so do's and don'ts of pop-up shops, how to set up, break down, how to manage your inventory, things like that. I do see myself doing that.
Okay. And do you see Mz Vee Accessories and More, where do you see it in the next 4 to 5 years?
Ooh. Next 4 to 5 years. Do I want to be retired? I want to be retired from my main job, but next 4 to 5 years, I really don't know. I wouldn't mind if we got like a little camper and did pop-up shops all over the world. I would love to do that. Of course, I gotta talk with my husband about that first. 4 to 5 years, I possibly can see myself passing the torch to someone else to teach people how to do pop-up shops. Teaching other people how to make, passing the torch, teaching other people how to make jewelry. So I want to take the work off of myself. I want to retire and enjoy retirement.
Completely understand that. Is there a fun fact that we don't know about Mz Vee just by looking at you?
I am the oldest of 2 sets of twins, all girls.
Okay. Other than her coming all the way from New York City, Lord.
Boricua, morena, boricua, morena. Okay.
Okay, and as far as, because there are a lot of people, and people have ideas all day, but they don't put them into motion. Some people are scared, some people are trying, but it's just hard for them. What advice would you give to them?
As far as starting their own business?
Starting a business, yeah.
Find out if there's a market for it. Ask the people what they want. A wise man told me that. Ask people what they want. Find out if there's a market for it. If there is, do your research. Write down what it is you want to do. Think of a plan. Think of a mission. And go from there.
And I guess some people worry about, because if there's someone else doing the same thing, to me, it shouldn't matter if someone's doing the same thing, because they're not you. You can get the same product, but did you get the same service? So do you feel the same?
At first, I felt that because there's somebody else out there doing the things that I'm doing, I know I'm being watched. I know I'm being watched. Because every time I post a flyer, somebody else is posting the same kind of event. It's okay. There's enough out here for everybody to eat.
Right.
What your experience at Walmart is may not be the same experience as it is Target. So, yes.
I agree. See? So don't even worry about the competition. No, it's not even really competition, y'all. So just do what it is you want to do, and don't even worry about the rest. Just keep it moving.
If you feel there's some type of competition, why don't you just go ahead and reach out and have a conversation and collaborate.
There you go. Ooh. All right. Now, as far as the location here, which is 1410 East Chester, Suite F. Make sure you come by soon. What all do you all offer here?
So I still have my boutique in little closet over here. I do meet customers. They'll inbox me. I've got laundry detergent. I've got my African clothes. I've got my jewelry. That's usually by appointment. But we also have something called the Creators Experience Center. The Creators Experience Center, what we offer here, it's a mixed use space. So paint with us, paint and sip, craft and sip. We can also do children's parties. Of course, they'll be sipping non-alcoholic beverages. The different types of crafts we're looking at: jewelry making. We have a thing where we have a vendor who makes the little figurines out of 3D. He has a 3D printer, and we can, if the kids want to come in, they want to paint that, they can paint canvas totes, paint the margarita glass. Also, the other things we're looking at is in the future doing exercise class, a chair exercise class here, be in the evenings, maybe 30-40 minutes, like on a weekday.
That's different.
Yeah. So as I'm 53 years old, so I'm no longer as mobile as I used to be. So now I do chair exercises at home, and I want to bring that to people in East Jackson. Okay. Because my mobility is limited, and a lot of us are, especially those of us that are up there in age. I would like to also collaborate with other entrepreneurs. If you teach yoga, if you teach Zumba, if you teach Pilates, if you're a personal trainer looking for a brick and mortar to have your class, we can have a conversation. I also want to collaborate with other creatives that, like I know this young lady teaches wire wrapping. I want to learn wire wrapping. She wants to come in and teach a class. I want to collaborate with another entrepreneur. She does events. I want to see if she wants to come and teach people how to be event coordinators. There's another business owner. She is a phlebotomy instructor. She reached out to me about coming in and having her class here. That way she can teach. She can do the classroom portion for 10 to 20 students as opposed to 2 or 3 at the location she's doing it now. So that's another thing I want to do is I want to collaborate with other creatives, other entrepreneurs. And the other thing we'll be doing is date night. So couples come in and they do a little sipping, a little drawing, a little sketching, a little painting, a little creating, making jewelry. And I'm actually collaborating with another creative about an intimate conversation with couples and relationships. Also, my husband, who's got a podcast called Make a Buck with a Truck podcast, he's a truck driver, but he also teaches people how to use artificial intelligence to increase their marketing and their search engine optimization.
Because technology is blowing up right now. So I am going to list all the information for this location. Also, if someone wants to get in contact with you, how would they be able to do that?
My personal page is, I think it's Mz Vee, Maria Mz Vee Dotson on Facebook. I also have a business page, Mz Vee Accessories More. It's Mz Vee Accessories More, as well as also my tag on Instagram. I have a TikTok that I'm going to be a little bit more active on. If you want to reach me by email, it's mz-vee.com. And then we've also got thecreatorsexperience.com. Both of those websites go to the same page. Yeah, that's it.
Appreciate your time today, spending with me, letting me know everything that's going on. This is definitely going to be a location that's for the community. So make sure that you all do reach out to her so that you can have access, take advantage of everything that she's offering. There is no excuse any longer. 1410 East Chester, Suite F. So make sure that, like I said, I'm going to have the information listed at the end of the episode. Is there anything else that you would like anyone to know or say?
If anyone wants to come and collaborate, and let's go ahead and make this work. Let's make some money. Let's make some money, and let's put East Jackson on the map, on the entrepreneur map.
Yep, that's the key word. Put it on the map. Let's go. For joining me today on Real Talk, Real Business with Latoya Chantel. Until next time.